We have new updates and information regarding GeForce Now and its upcoming Ultimate tier, and Game Pass is getting ready to launch 3 new games with more to come. We're going to be breaking down the latest in the cloud gaming space, so let's dive right in and get to it. Let's kick things off by talking about GeForce Now and some new bits of information that have been shared. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you would know that GeForce Now is replacing the 3080 tier with something called the Ultimate tier. It's coming in at no additional cost, and it's introducing new 4080 SuperPods. And these things are extremely powerful, 64 teraflops, 5 times the power of a Series X, full ray tracing DLSS 3, and support for a new reflex 240Hz competitive mode with click-to-pixel latency below 40 milliseconds. But something we've just learned is that they will support the AV1 codec as well. Now if that sounds familiar, it's because I've briefly brushed on the subject quite a while ago and how it could impact cloud gaming. And with this, we have confirmation of its arrival along with some benefits. You can expect AV1 to save around 15% bandwidth when streaming in 1080p, and a better image quality experience when streaming at higher resolutions and fidelity. Now I do need to point out that this is just support for AV1, and while it is beneficial, it isn't required. And make no mistake, that's a good thing because not a whole lot of hardware out there can support it. But as more time passes, expect it to become more of a regular thing, and it does seem like AV1 has a strong future ahead of itself. Now when it comes to ultra-wide support, I need to point out that the max resolution they're going to support is 3840 by 1600. That means 3440 by 1440 and 2560 by 1080 will also be supported. But this does leave out the 5120 resolutions that come in 1440 and 2160. Not a whole lot of monitors out there for those two resolutions, but if you're in the market, it's good to know what's compatible with GFN. Another very interesting tidbit of information we learned about ultra-wide support is that you can expect this to actually have an effect on mobile displays. This means games will take up most, if not all of the screen. This is a pretty big deal for a lot of people out there who like to game on the go, and it's good to see. Now, one point I do need to clarify because I've been seeing some misconception in comment sections and over on Reddit. You do not need to be running on a local NVIDIA GPU or have a G-Sync display to take advantage of features here. While it is the recommendation simply because that's what NVIDIA would test things out on, any high variable refresh rate monitor can be used and take advantage of the high refresh rates. There's one last thing I want to add here before we move on to the next news topic, and it's something that I know will make a lot of people happy to hear. And that's that racing wheel support is being looked into. To be very clear, it's not confirmed to be coming, and it's not going to be here for GFN Ultimate's launch either. But they are actively looking into it and have heard the community outcry for its support. Fingers crossed they find a way to make it happen, as I know a lot of people out there would love to play some racing sims on GeForce Now. But now it's time we switch gears and talk about Game Pass, because Microsoft has just announced 3 games coming to Game Pass real soon. Those 3 games include Monster Hunter Rise, Persona 3 Portable, and Persona 4 Golden, all of which will be available on cloud, console, and PC. These 3 titles will join Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition, Stranded Deep, and Valheim's Mistlands Biome Update, all of which release this month as well. We didn't actually get an official breakdown of the games coming to Game Pass this month, but since it is the start of a new year, that's probably why. I do want to point out though that this is coming officially from Microsoft at news.xbox.com. The URL for this announcement actually states that it's a Wave 1 announce, and that seems to imply that there will be a Wave 2 as per usual months when it comes to Game Pass. No clue when that would happen or if it's guaranteed to happen, but it would make sense that it may be at the developer direct that's being rumored around the internet right now. If you haven't heard about the rumor, I talked about it in a YouTube short, but it seems like a lot of insiders are pointing toward the fact that Xbox may be launching a developer direct event, sort of like a state of play for PlayStation or a Nintendo Direct for the Switch. Basically, they want to have a way to showcase upcoming games for Xbox without having to go and wait for big events like E3 or the Game Awards. The current rumor is that this Xbox Developer Direct will take place sometime around January 25th. It'll be very interesting to see their take on the Direct format. I expect to see some Redfall, some Forza Motorsport, and maybe some other projects. Regardless, I do think it's important to keep your expectations in check. This is a Direct, it's not a big full-blown event, so don't expect a big focus on titles that aren't slated to come out sometime soon this year. Personally though, I'm just happy to hear that more is coming from Xbox Game Studios because it's been quite a dry spell the past 2 years, but it seems like 2023 may be theirs. Let me know what title you're most looking forward to from Xbox Game Studios down below. But before wrapping things up, I just want to point out that some Game Pass games will be leaving January 15th, so if you haven't, be sure to play the following. That includes Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, Nobody Saves the World, Paparazzi, The Anacrusis, We Happy Few, and Windjammers 2. And with that, we've covered the latest in the cloud gaming space. If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification notification bell as well. As always, thank you for watching the video. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.